What's up? I'm Uno July, aka Tom Jinx, one half member of Ill Skillz.
I'm Jimmy Flex, the other half of Ill Skillz.
Yeah.
Representing
Notes from the Native Yard.
That's from the Native Yard. Native Yard.
We on some new shit like this, y'all. Ill Skillz, your reputation precedes you. All of y'all give all good body, almighty praise to do. From humble beginnings, rookie to best status we came through. Sometimes I feel like y'all the only rappers I should listen to. Lasted longer than a first impression, divine intervention. Hence I dedicate this to the first time listeners to proper real.
Usually what we do is, me and Uno would call each other, you know, like, cause he's in the hood, I'm in uptown. So whenever something comes up, it's like it's just a phone call away and like, yo, this and that. So we were working on the album at the time, and when the issue of the album title came up, it was natural to say like, yo, notes from the Native Yard, like, because that's what we've been writing so far. We've been doing notes, taking notes, and producing notes, you know. So it's like, oh, we just call it Notes from the Native Yard. It only makes sense, you know.
It's funny that I forgot the other titles we played with.
There was a lot of titles that we played with. There was a lot.
Yeah, there was about 5 between them, but he actually named the title. It's one of the ones that, you know, and it sounded so dope. He was just apt and accurate, you know, in terms of like all the material we have recorded, and we were like 70% done with the album by that time. It was the pressure was on us because I think we might have put out TTBY
already, no?
Yeah, without a title for the album. So that was like really risky and scary. But what's great about TTBY, you know, it was a blessing because it set the tone. The song itself, it set a good tone for the album, you know. So it was already heading the right direction. And obviously, as people understand, well, some people don't, but Native Yards is a term that was used back during the apartheid era to actually name the streets in Gugulethu. So you have NY1, you know, NY2, NY3, NY4, etc. You know. So I know it's got, you know, those kind of a negative connotation.
And obviously native, NY meaning Native Yard.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's easy for the apartheid police to be like, where's the shit going down? You know, NY what, NY whatever. Instead of having to pronounce, people like,
it's a collection of notes, you know. We take pride in lyricism and actually telling stories.
That's right.
You know. That's just MCing, you know, that's our foundation. That's, you know, that's how it became artist.
It's really like you have to maintain that whole student, you know, you're always a student, you always learn, and especially where art and culture is concerned, you know what I mean? Like you will always be a student.
And we actually hope for people to actually learn from the album because there are a lot of gems, you know. That's one of the things we used to discuss, like you know, these are a collection of notes. This is like the foundation, or you know, fundamental, you know, of just like learning what encompasses a hip-hop album, you know. Like, we're students of the game. All the classic albums that came out, you can compare them to Notes from the Native Yards, and you actually find similarities just in terms of, you know, the approach, the story side of it, you know, the concepts, you know. And yeah, I mean, it's a conceptually driven album.
Yo, the maladjusted used to cipher with the rascals. Antisocial at a social with the sociable attitude, radical pose. Apartheid full of promise and promises broken, but society's changed. You a black man and a token, and an officer. We party our frustrations away, disguised as a celebration, and all we want is to get paid. Pave the way for the youngins around the block smoking.
Imagine us, you know, as, you know, growing as musicians and artists, you know. It dawned on us actually, on me personally, when we did Jazz Festival, Cape Town International Jazz Festival in 2012. And I'm like, yeah, sure, we have a great catalog, you know, but how can we actually grow the sound? That was the approach. How can we grow the sound? And it was just divine intervention and just a blessing to actually meet a guy like J1, you know, who's been really instrumental throughout the album, no pun intended, you know. He happened to be, you know, I mean, no disrespect to other producers we worked with, you know, they're great in their own regard, in their own right. But this kid had the ability to actually sample, you know, like a traditional hip hop beat. And he could also play instruments, you know, he could, you know, he can play keys and whatnot. So what would usually happen is that he'll have a beat, for instance, and it could be actually anyone's beat. It could be Hype's beat, it could be Planet Earth's beat, but our approach was like, yo, it needs more work, you know? No disrespect to them, it needs more work. We need to add synthesizers, we need to add that, you know, like you listened to yesterday by Planet Earth, for instance, the one Planet Earth produced. The song was great. He actually picked the beat, you know, because we were there in studio, like, in Planet Earth studio at the planetarium.
Really
they had him there, like, you know, gun to his head, like, yo, we taking this beat, you know. It was just rap for us, like, okay, we actually, you know, we heard ourselves rapping to it,
like,
but it's emotionally driven now, you know. The song, the music is you know, is driven by emotions, and we felt like there's a part where, you know, we can add something. So that's where that synthesizer comes in, you know, that G-funk feel, you know. You know, I just saw myself like waving gang signs to that, you know, like, so that's the kind of approach, you know. And so we were trying to grow the sound. That was the intention.
And also like the sound almost, because it's like a movie, you know, because with a film it's like, okay, cool. First of all, the actor has to perform, give a good performance on screen, right? But there's another element that gets added to it, which is the musical direction. You know what I mean? Like the person that does the musical direction brings out certain, you know, knows how to relate to that, to what's happening on the screen, and to bring that out even more. And that, I think J1 is very good at that, because he's equipped and skilled with the musicality and the jazz. And he actually told Uno that he's a jazz artist initially.
That's when
he
I
didn't
met
say
him.
he was a hip hop producer, you know. So like just that background that he has already was like, okay, cool, because our minds are in boom bap land, you know. You know, but then he comes through and he's just like, oh, he's got the boom bap, but he can take it from there to somewhere else, and you're like, okay, cool.
And he's off tempo. His tempo is just different from other people.
It's not 4.
You know, like Planet Earth will be making a beat. This is Planet Earth.
Yeah. That snare is always
that's there.
Exactly.
And then hype is like, and then J1 is like, he's totally off, you know, like, so I actually watched them. I love, I enjoy actually watching producers. You know? There's the method to the madness. So I take, like you mentioned, attention to detail. So it's important to understand their body language, where they're at, where they feel, so we can get something out of this.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Together.
Because, I mean, music, first of all, it's also a spiritual thing. You know what I mean? Like first and foremost, before we go anywhere, it's like it's spiritual. You know, so. Even that in them, the way they move is how they feel it.
It's how they feel it.
You know, you're African, so how the music is moving through your and you're feeling you're at one with it, you know. And then comes the writer now that also has to interpret that, and, you know, but now has to put words to that, you know. And and sometimes the words were there before the sound was there. So this album sort of was a very dynamic process, I would say, you know. But overall, I feel like it's a very full-bodied piece of work. Complete. I would say. For some people, they don't really get it, because in Germany, one of the reviews was like, it's all over the place or something, you know. But then again, which would make sense, because they don't follow the story.
Or our previous catalog.
Or the previous catalog.
And how we became versatile.
As usual, it will take time.
Definitely.
But overall, we are fucking happy. This is one album where I felt like I needed to connect more with music, even as a lyricist, you know. Flex has his own style of writing, you know, which I really appreciate and I dig. Like, it's out of this world. Like, I want to see him do more of that, you know. I had a different approach, and especially when it comes down to, I might not be sharp with the concepts, but it's just the feel, you know, of the chorus, you know.
Yeah, your voice. And
yeah, you know, like, you know, I really, I see myself, you know, I'm always hungry to actually execute a concept, you know.
It's more from a producer's perspective.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So exactly that, and that I feel like I really achieved well. Actually, Hyphen, you know, my man's Hyphen from Archetypes, he really complimented me on that. I didn't realize it, you know, I wasn't sure, you know, but he actually told me that, yeah, you did it, you know, and he told me this more than once, you know. And then it's important that both of us, you know, like, we need to be compatible at all times, you know. And I feel like it's one of the, you know, a process that we actually enjoy the most, actually, when it comes to like, yo, I got this, what you got? Yeah, you know, like that. And like half of the time, like, oh shit, this works. And some song, we did some songs, probably they didn't end up on the album because they weren't, you know,
really
tied. Yeah, they weren't, you know, compatible enough. But then some songs we wrote together, you know, literally cold flex. When I have something, I'm like, yo, I'm coming to your house now. I got this hook. Let's discuss the concept more, and then, you know, we write together. 775.
Sometimes it's just in the studio. Like,
yeah, in the studio.
Put on the beat. He'd have already have his verse on, like, oh shit, what's the concept? Boom, and then just go in, you know.
There's no trying to compete on all kinds of.
The thing is, for me personally, it's always about the concept.
I'm just trying to get you. I know it's.
It's all for me. It's always about the concept. Like I compete with myself, or I compete what I did previously, you know, and then that's my point of reference when it comes to writing my whole process. You know, it's like, well, this concept. So you have to make sure that you actually pull the concept off, and you push it as far as you can. You know?
And that's exactly what I expect from him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, his flows just polarized. That I really enjoy. Some people are like, whoa. Like, yo, do you understand this? Like, this is he's fathering a style here. This is something no one else can do. You know what I'm saying? People always stick to the cookie cutter. They want to stick to the same shit.
It's like, you know, you train your ear. If you're used to listening to a certain sound or patterns, and your ear is used to that. Once someone comes and disrupts that and throws it, it's like you're like a robot. You know, the wires start